What's going on YouTube? Josh here checking in. We are back with another video and we're doing something a little different here. I'm going to post an entire push hypertrophy based workout. Hypertrophy, that means the goal of this is get big muscles, alright? So what I did here is at the bottom left screen, every time I switch an exercise I put the exercise name and the sets and reps. So the format is sets times reps. And obviously I did 6 sets in bench press, but I'm not going to show all 6. If I included every single set I did, this video would be 12 to 15 minutes long, and nobody in their right mind will watch it because it gets super boring. So, this exercise, this workout here, is specifically a higher volume sort of training, okay? This includes 9 different exercises, a total of over 300 repetitions. This is not for the light of heart, okay? This is if you have been lifting for some period of time. If you're a beginner lifter, you've only been lifting for maybe a year or two, you have no reason to be doing volume this high, alright? One thing to keep in mind just in general when you're training, you want to sort of do the appropriate training for your level. You want to be doing the volume that's appropriate for you. Because what happens is your body adapts to the stimulus. So if you're a beginner and you just go off the bat doing crazy high volume, your body will adapt to that over time and you will actually probably reach a plateau sooner rather than later. Alright, so this is something that, is going to be a hard workout really for most individuals. And, so what you've noticed here so far, I've done some of that flat bench, I've done some incline bench, and now moving on and going from that chest work, focusing on to the deltoids, alright? So this is one of my favorite movements for building up those shoulders, and that's just simply the seated dumbbell press. This exercise, I cannot say enough about this. You definitely will feel this a little differently than you would for a standard overhead press, and because of that, I would argue that they're probably complementary movements, and which is why I usually perform both of those. For more novice lifters, what I'll usually program is maybe one day of overhead press and one day of seated dumbbell press. So over here, you notice that it's really not that heavy weight, but this was very challenging at this point. After all those sets of benching and everything, and you'll notice there I grabbed my leg because I actually had a spasm in my quad just from sort of bracing myself and trying to stay upright because this was getting so challenging here. And you'll notice that I dropped the weight pretty substantially. This is only 95 pounds. And guys, that's one thing to really keep in mind, that you need to leave your ego aside, especially when you're training for hypertrophy, guys. The goal is to get high quality volume in. The goal is not to lift the heaviest weight. Now, you want to lift the heaviest weight you can and get good quality reps in, but you don't want to, hurt yourself by trying to go crazy because your muscles are already fatigued. At this point, my muscles are super fatigued. So, this is the behind the neck press, and I think this is an exceptional exercise to supplement that shoulder work, alright? For this, the key is that you need to do a very wide grip, alright? So, like, very, very wide. You can see that my hands are maybe just a few inches away from the edges of the bar there. And, this movement, you need to go very light if you're not used to doing it because you can end up hurting yourself. Overall, very good exercise. So moving on to some dips, and, for these guys, just make sure that you're doing full range of motion. That's all I gotta say. I see a lot of people doing dips, and they throw on, maybe 4 45 plates, and then I see them, not using anywhere near full range of motion. Now, this was actually much harder than I had expected for myself, and I just totally underestimated how much all that previous volume of all that pushing work was going to affect my triceps. So after that, I decided to head on over, mix it up a little bit, do some more single joint kind of movements, right? So over here we're doing the lying dumbbell tricep extensions, and this is kind of like the same motor pattern that you'd use for a skull crusher. The difference is that you're using obviously dumbbells, so that means that you have to coordinate both of them sort of together, and as opposed to using a barbell movement where maybe one arm can overpower the other, you have the nice advantage that each arm has the same exact weight and is taking the same exact burden. And additionally, this is a neutral grip, so for some people who have elbow pain, this might actually feel better. Sometimes it might feel worse. So when it comes to that, you're just going to have to feel which feels best for you and sort of select the movement that doesn't cause you any discomfort. So moving on, doing some tricep pushdowns. With these guys, you want to probably do a little better job than me on these last few reps of not using too much body English there, but you kind of get the idea. And from here, I finish off triceps with some overhead cable tricep extensions. Now, why do I do overhead cable tricep extensions? The reason is any sort of overhead tricep extending movement, whether it be with cables or whether it be with dumbbells, any variation of this is important to incorporate into your push workouts, or even if you're just doing a dedicated arm day, because this type of movement actually hits the long head of the triceps. For the other kind of pushing movements such as the pushdowns, dips, etc., it does not isolate the long head of the triceps nearly as well, and you're not going to get complete development of your triceps. So be sure to incorporate some sort of overhead variation for those triceps. So after I did these, I finish off the workout with some side lateral dumbbell raises, as you'll see here. Now with these, you'll notice it's not exactly perfectly to the side, and that's actually the correct way to do this movement. You have a slight bend in your elbows, and you'll notice at the top I pause there just for a split second, alright? You don't want to just rush this through, go up and down super quickly, because you're just not going to get the most out of it. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, comment in the comment section below and let me know. And if you're not subscribing, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys all in the next video.